Hey, welcome to Loveable AF. I'm Grateful Sherry. So today is Intuition Monday, and I wanted to talk about, I saw somebody asking, like, how do you know if it's your intuition? Or maybe it's an old belief, maybe it's default programming, like, how do you know if it's intuition? And so for this one, my intuition literally did, it saved my family, it saved my marriage. And so like today, me, my husband, and my son were able to go down just like about 45 minutes away from us. We had an awesome meal. We went and threw axes. We went shopping for furniture for our new house. It was just an amazing time. And this morning I woke up and I was wrapped up in my husband's arms, and I just woke up with this feeling of, if you guys haven't seen my post today, I talked about I used to wake up scared all the time. And so just the difference. And so intuition. So people a lot of times, it's like, listen to your gut, but it's just like, well, how do you know if it is your intuition? How do you know if it's something else? Because sometimes, and I'm a full believer on this, your intuition is always, so I'll just tell you how to know. It's always going to feel lighter, not heavier. It's always going to feel like love, not anger. It's always going to feel like a good old time versus like, I hate this and I never want to do this again. So there's some good ways to see, but what about on those really hard things, the things that are really scary, are really difficult? And basically it's like, there was a point. So Matt and I had been struggling in our marriage, and it was really rough, and I was exhausted, and I just didn't know how I could continue on. And I was in this place of, should we keep going here, or should we call it quits? And I was laying in my bed, and my son had laid his head on my belly and fallen asleep. And I was just asking, I was truly asking, like, what do I do here? What's the best move for me? What's the best move for our family? And, right, I mean, you would think that, so there's a lot of emotions playing in there, right? A lot of different things, pressures, what would it do to Maseo? Like, how would it be? Like, all this stuff, right? My son's Maseo. And for me, it's like this deep knowing. And this was the thing I got, was like, no, this is where you need to be still. This may not be where you're supposed to be forever, but it's where you're supposed to be right now. And it felt right. And it did still feel expansive, even though I was exhausted and struggling and frustrated and scared and angry. Like there was, and it seemed hard, right? But it did still feel expansive. So one of the things with intuition is sometimes people feel like, oh, if it doesn't feel good, maybe it's not it. And I don't think that's right. Because sometimes things feel scary, things feel challenging, not like in a good way, but like in a seriously, I am challenged kind of way. And when you listen to that intuition, it pulls you through. And underneath the challenge, underneath the difficulties, there is still this feeling of, I want to be committed to that. I want to have that. Because I was like nervous. I'm like, man, am I screwing this up? Like maybe we've just gone past the point here. And this is what I got really clear on, is this. If I still wanted my marriage, then it was the right place for me. Right? Because if there were big deal breakers, things that I couldn't take anymore, I was tired, I was exhausted, it was a really rough period of time. But it was the right place for me, and really being able to listen to my intuition. Because if I had been listening to anything else, I don't know that it would have happened. Because my intuition, like literally sometimes your intuition, it tells you to do the craziest crap that doesn't make sense, doesn't make logical sense. It's just this, I like to feel like it's an inspired thing. It's a divine thing. It's something out there as well as you in your gut that's telling you the direction to go. So intuition for me, even when it is scary or hard, or sometimes it doesn't even feel super like exciting, or you feel really, but underneath there, it doesn't feel dark. It feels light. Underneath there's a want of what do I want? What do I want, right? And so it kept being like, no, I want this, and I want it to work wonderfully. But I didn't want to be in a marriage where it was really difficult, but I wanted to be in a marriage that was wonderful and amazing. And the more I defined what I wanted the marriage to look like, and the more I defined that, and then I started showing up like that, then guess what? It naturally started happening. So if you guys are in any of this, like if this is hitting you and you're like, okay, yeah, I get this and I'm with you. I am putting together something that starts on the 5th of August. It is for 20 women only. And it is, if you have been giving away your power, if you have been feeling scared in your relationships, waking up scared, if you have been in a place of maybe seeing if, only knowing if you're okay if your partner says you're okay, and you're ready to reclaim your power, you're ready to have the habits that support it, you're ready to have the support from other women to do it, and you're ready to know that you're not alone, that you're a powerful, successful woman, and you get to have the amazing, wonderful relationship, and you get to be loved exactly how you want to. If you're lonely in your relationship, this is something to check out. If you're at the end of a rope in your relationship, this is something to check out. You know, I have to say that I've been there, and I'm really, really, really happy that I pushed through this, because literally the stuff, it had nothing to do with my partner. Right? There were obviously things I didn't like. But here's the thing. The more I stepped up, reclaimed my power, and stood into what was possible for me, what I wanted, the more I had a chance for my relationship to do that too. Because you attract not what you are. You attract what you are, not what you want. And so if you are cherishing you, if you are taking amazing care of you, if you think you're fucking amazing and hot and wonderful, then guess what? It has to be so that the people who show up in your life do that as well. So if any of this is resonating for you, you'll know. You guys can click the link in the comments, and I will see you over there. I put this together. I really, really feel like it's going to be amazing for 20 women. I know this process for me is taking me 7 years. So instead of 7 years, I'm condensing it down. 12 weeks. And I am super, super stoked. I have a total introductory price. This is the first time I'm going to do it, so it's a lower one. And if that's for you, click over there, click below. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.